Alrighty. Welcome everyone to the 10th tournament for Gods of Gravity. It's been a little while since our last tournament, but we're excited to kick things off with our round 3 match here. Let's see how these players do. So, let's see the last game. We saw an opening where both players immediately rushed the sun after getting their initial moons. So, we'll see if players opt for that strategy or what they decide to do.
Yeah, how much more difficult is it to capture the sun in the dual sun scenario versus a regular sun map?
It's the same amount of turrets on it. However, you don't have to deal with the problem of another player thwarting your plans. So in that sense, it's a lot easier as you can sort of take it solo without being contested. But it is still a threatening base to take with those 30 turrets and that shield around it.
And this is one of the coolest things we've done with maps and trying stuff out and, you know, giving the players a new experience. I think having the dual maps and you know, the black hole in the middle is definitely a fun opportunity to try something new and really mix up maps. It's not just another map, it's something completely different for them to play around and build strategies around.
Yeah, and it looks like PopcornShrimp was taking these initial planets. There was that missile planet back there, which they just took, and now they're going in for this production planet. I'm curious to see what ExcelBeam's doing over there, if they've made more progress. Or they got the missiles. Now they might be gathering those missiles and maybe going for the sun here. We'll see.
Yeah, lots of firepower on this map too, with the heavy lasers and all the four torpedo planets, 2 heavy laser planets. There's a lot of firepower.
And it looks like they can't quite get those moons due to the power being limited there. But they're out taking these moons, and that's something that a good player will always do: get as many moons as you can, because they're easy to take, and they are directly control how many ships you produce. Or how fast you produce ships. And Nathan, do you want to talk about... Oh, yep. Here we go. We'll see. Using those missiles and shields to try to take these. I wonder if ExcelBeam's trying to do the same thing. Maybe we can quickly jump over to blue and see how they're progressing with their sun takeover. It looks like they've not opted to do that. We'll see if they pay the price or how much red will be able to use this sun buff here.
The sun has
there we
been
go.
freed.
Yeah, blue's got that notification. We'll see how they can react to this. They do have more ships, and it looks like they're going for their sun now. But I wonder... It's my intuition that going for the sun second puts you at a disadvantage.
Even with fleet, yeah, your fleet size might give you that advantage. You might be able to be a little behind if you're ahead on ships, though.
Honestly, I wouldn't be attacking the sun
Red
here.
team has been buffed.
Well, is that Nathan? Go ahead.
Well, in fairness, though, the sun does give you boosted production, so as you can see, Red's fleet might start quickly growing as well if they're smart about it.
Yeah, that's a great call.
Yeah, we'll see if they go hyper-aggressive here, or how they plan to use this buff.
And I'm a little nervous that ExcelBeam didn't finish that capture the sun. That's not good. A little bit of a delay, I think, could be fine, but losing it all could be trouble.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have gone in now. I would have just tried to defend against PopcornShrimp and waited, because by going after the sun as blue, you lose a lot of ships when you're already about to be staring down an entire buffed army from PopcornShrimp.
Yeah.
And it looks like if PopcornShrimp can get this buff too, then that'll be disastrous. I think... Oh, ExcelBeam coming in from behind, but it's hard against those buff ships. Oh,
with the reinforcements. Just barely lost it.
Too late,
Been
yeah.
buffed.
That was great use of the reinforcement ability by PopcornShrimp there.
Blue
yeah.
team.
And now that with that buff and having no ships to defend, it's over for ExcelBeam here.
Game over, man.
Yeah. Man, I'm really excited at how fast-paced this is. I was expecting the maps to play a little slower because of the dual solar systems, but if anything, I think it's sped it up.
Yeah, having power across the entire map does mean you can get a lot more aggressive. We saw like a massive moon rush, which really just got them all the way across the map.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's gonna be interesting to see how, you know,
Blue team
how
has been
players will
buffed.
counter this
Red
strategy. And I
team
think if
won.
I was one of the key mistakes as Blue was going for the sun while PopcornShrimp had already had the buff there. Because that just also opened them up to get the second sun buff there. I would have
Yeah.
played a little more defensive and more conservatively there after I had known I'm going to get it second. All right. Well, we'll be right back with the next and final round 3 match. All right, welcome back. We've got our last round 3 match here. We've got Panda, one of our reigning champions, showing off against Soap, who's also been a longtime player. And we'll see how these players are able to play effectively. I know a lot of players were saying they were scared of Panda because Panda's already good at taking the sun, and now this map all revolves around being fast and taking the sun efficiently.
Yeah, you know what's kind of funny here, though, is I think we're ready, but Panda usually takes the sun, but this gives people an opportunity to take the sun themselves. So this actually may be evening the playing ground for everybody else.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
All right. We've got Panda on blue team facing
Panda,
off.
And somebody just left. Okay.
Not sure what happened there. I hope players had enough time to choose their gods there, Steve.
I didn't do that.
Well, it looks like I know Panda.
All right, people. Can the other stream cam players control this?
Everyone can.
I
I don't know if we're getting trolled or people are waiting to, not wanting to start the match yet. It looks like Logan's typing something here.
Okay. Soap wasn't ready. Okay. We gotta figure out. We should probably open, if we can, the audio here so we can get a confirmation. I didn't start that one either.
Looks like our players are ready to go.
Yeah.
We've got Soap on the red team facing off against Panda, our resident champion. I think we can all say that Panda's our best player right now, though definitely has been challenged a couple times and by our other great players. But Panda is definitely a player to be scared of here. Coming out with the God of Volatility. This is Panda's favorite god. If you haven't, Steve, did we post that interview with Panda while he was talking about why he likes volatility so much?
Not yet. That one's coming up later. What we have right now is the that tournament, that highlight moment. So the moment where Panda cuts power to the attacking player. The full interview will be coming in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, look at that. That was a masterful attack there. I don't even know if Panda lost a single troop taking that missile planet. But let's see how Soap's doing here. Looks like they've taken that first planet. They decided to go for the production planet instead of the missile planet, unlike Panda, who went straight for the missile planet. So we'll see how that pays off. My intuition is that Panda's going to get the sun first here, just due to having those additional missile ships.
Yeah, Soap's a little slow on taking this PD planet.
Yeah, but it looks like, I mean, maybe with the point defense, Soap will be able to defend better against the missile turrets of the sun, so maybe that'll help him take it. So Panda's gone for a really more offensive start, whereas Soap's gone a little bit more defensive.
Yeah. Panda looks like gathering the last bit of ships. Oh no.
Yeah, those heavy lasers are scary. Those can destroy 2 ships in one shot, and they rotate very quickly, so you gotta be scared if you get up close with those.
So making a little bit of a play on the sun earlier than Panda, so we'll see how that pays off.
Yeah, and look, they're mixing in those point defense ships to try to make sure that they have protection against those missiles. Oh, and it looks like Panda's all the way over here trying to get the torpedoes. We know how much value those torpedoes have. Panda's loves them especially as God of Volatility, just because the passive ability of you have a chance that if you destroy an enemy ship, it explodes. So, and those torpedoes are so good at shelling from a distance, as they have a bit longer range than normal ships.
You know, they go right through that sun shield, which is quite a nuisance otherwise.
Look like Panda's gathering ships up for that attack. Let's see. Soap is still on that sun.
But
Chipping
EMP is
away
almost
little by
ready,
little.
and choosing Conquest might give an advantage on this sort of thing, since it can get rid of the shield instantly. So that might be advantageous here. We'll see.
It's a good call.
Yeah, and I think Panda's just taken the sniper planet as well while we've been talking. And it looks like, oh, now with those torpedoes and those snipers and everything there, they're going in, so Soap better hurry up here and try to take that sun. Soap should use their EMP and take that sun, I believe. Although it already has such low turret
Look at
guns.
that.
Freed.
Look at that.
There we
Panda
go.
making an aggressive charge there.
The
sun
pressure's
has
on
been
for Soap
freed.
now. There we go. And it looks
Both
like
have their
these suns
suns,
are
but-
almost taken at exactly the same time. So we'll see how players deal with this. It looks like Soap's really stacking up on the sun, knowing that they need to get this buff here.
Both players have their ability, so they could use it at any time.
Blue
Oh.
team has been buffed.
There you go.
Oh, there it comes for the buff.
Red
It's
team
just enough time. Let's see what happens.
Oh.
Just missed it though.
Oh.
And also, I don't know if we saw
It
there, I
looks
think
like
the
Soap
EMP
has
got
a-
used on the sun, which killed off some of Panda's power on the support ships. So that's why Panda had to run out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Panda's coming back. I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm not. It's looking a little rough from Soap's perspective, staring down this army. I think the numbers were
Red
pretty
team
equal before
has lost control of their home base.
before the sun buff happened. And it looks like there's those buff snipers going in. And it's so, look at how good Panda's micromanaging those snipers, keeping them out of direct line of fire and being able to support from above. And
Yeah.
I see all those torpedoes, and that's just so scary. Not much you can do against a set of buff torpedoes like that.
Yeah, good awareness by
Red
Panda to
team
get out of
has
there and
been
so use the EMP, but
Blue team.
because that could have
won.
gone very much in a different direction there. Soap could have cleaned up if Panda wasn't aware. That was excellent play by both players.
And I'm really curious to see the starts here. This is a totally new map. Today's the first time I've actually seen people competing on it, so I think a lot of the strategies are really interesting and very fresh here. But something we've seen that's immensely important is getting that sun quickly. But
Yeah.
of
Now,
course,
Steve, you might want to tap C like twice real quick just to refresh the names.
Yeah, there. Oh,
you go.
I didn't see it. Thank you.
yeah, and of course, the first thing to do in any match of Gods of Gravity is get as many moons as you can. And it looks like DragonvsCATS is doing that and is going for that point defense as the first planet they're going to take here.
Yeah, and DragonvsCATS is a new player. I'm excited to see them in the tournament. Excited to see them here, and it's nice to see some new faces and new styles and getting more and more people playing the game.
Yeah, it looks like DragonvsCATS went the more defensive route of getting that point defense planet first, and it looks like PopcornShrimp went the more offensive route of getting that missile planet.
Yeah, and since this is such a new map, we don't really know what the best strategy is. We'll have to see what works out and what works best for players. Who knows? It's all about getting that sun, because once you get that sun, that's where your advantage really begins.
Yeah, and it looks like DragonvsCATS is already going for that sun here, and PopcornShrimp will really need to take theirs or play really defensively. But it's definitely an interesting dynamic on this match because you feel a sense of security almost because the enemy's not in your power range, but then of course as soon as they start taking your sun, you're like panicking because they're about to come on in a massive invasion.
We can really see also how the point defense made a huge difference in a DragonvsCATS fleet, since PopcornShrimp has to run with each missile attack, whereas
Yeah.
DragonvsCATS was mostly just able to stay in place.
Here
Very
comes the
advantageous.
buff.
That's ships in your fleet.
Blue team has been buffed.
Yep, and I'm very scared for PopcornShrimp here. We'll see how aggressive DragonvsCATS decides to play. If I'm PopcornShrimp, I'm praying that DragonvsCATS doesn't come directly from my home base, as I think it would probably be GG. That would be a little bit of a risky move. But it looks like PopcornShrimp's just in the background, sort of lurking. Oh, those neutral snipers are picking off some of those troops.
We're still playing it pretty safe. Not too concerned, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, I'd wait for this buff to be over, and then go in for the sun. And I just keep my forces consolidated and hope that DragonvsCATS gets a little scared. Oh, but PopcornShrimp's going in there, trying to pick off some troops. It's risky fighting buffed shifts because they're so much more deadly than normal ones.
It's not bad timing by Popcorn. That was pretty good timing to not just be on the edge of danger.
Yep. And now the buff is over, and DragonvsCATS doesn't have power everywhere anymore, so it's an interesting dynamic. They have to back off a little bit.
But they do have God of Conquest, which means that all those moons they took earlier really gives them much bigger range than they had earlier. So
that's true.
That's definitely an interesting dynamic to watch as well.
Yeah, I think it's a really fun dynamic too, the whole sun buff. So once you capture a sun, it gives you power to the entire map. So once you lose it, you lose that power if you have not done it. So it's really interesting to see how the players will use the power and how God of Conquest will play on this map.
Yeah, and God of Conquest is especially good on this map because you can really easily get a foothold in the enemy territory through the moons. And it looks like
this is a really good choice, actually.
No, yeah, I'm scared of for PopcornShrimp that PopcornShrimp is about to get that buff, but here comes DragonvsCATS trying to slowly make their way towards the sun here and try to get power. But it looks like they don't have enough time. Oh, here comes the EMP.
This is a good one.
They just missed it.
Oh my gosh.
Blue team has been buffed.
Fortunately, they had another
play.
get their buff on.
Oh, and now there's some asteroids in the system.
It's been a while since the match has
Oh, but now DragonvsCATS sun went off, and it looks like it's over for PopcornShrimp here. As even though they are technically have that sun buff right now, but it's so hard to come back against somebody who also has the buff and more troops than you.
Yeah. What a great play by DragonvsCATS, though. That was an excellent play to just kind of take those planets away, use your sun buff, make sure when Popcorn was really about to get that buff and make an advantage, they pushed it and stole as many ships as they could away from Popcorn.
Yeah. Awesome. This is a great match to see.
I'm
I'm excited to see how far DragonvsCATS gets in this, and if they're able to defeat Panda. Looking like a really strong showing here. All right, we've got BlackLemur on red team as God of Volatility facing off against Panda on blue team as God of Volatility, which is specializes in really shredding through clustered enemy armies. So we'll see what the openings are like for these two players. It looks like both have just gone for their moon so far, but I think Panda's taking a planet. It looks like BlackLemur's doing the same. I'm curious to see what planet Panda will go for, and the same opening as in the other game, going straight for that missile planet, valuing the offense here, using that little nuke there to deal with some of those turrets. I wonder which planet PopcornShrimp is going to choose to go after. Looks like the defensive option with the point defense. It looks like they're going to be able to take that without suffering too many losses. Of course, there's still 12 turrets left, but...
Nice micromanaging by both
that.
players, though.
Yep. And it's an interesting balance here. You're really racing in this match to see who can get the sun first. But you also don't want to move too fast where you suffer a lot of casualties. And that's the interesting balance here. And it's sort of it's almost a match where you're not necessarily fighting the enemy at the beginning. You're fighting that balance of how fast can I be at taking the sun without losing too many troops. And it looks like BlackLemur is coming in here with a little bit of a peekaboo strategy to try to get off those missiles, and it's just another way of sort of micromanaging. And it looks like they're going in right now. This is the first player to take the sun faster than Panda, but it looks like Panda's making it all the way out to that torpedo planet on the side. And we know Panda loves those torpedo ships, and for good reason. They're quite powerful. Nathan, do you want to talk a bit about why the torpedo ships are so powerful?
Yeah, I mean, the big key here with torpedo ships is that they can outrange most other ships, which is very valuable in taking planets, since turrets aren't going to be able to move any closer to you, but your torpedoes can fire from range even before they can fire back at you. Yep. And if you're volatility, you can really do a lot of extra damage with that passive ability.
Yeah, and I hate to interrupt here, but it looks like BlackLemur's got their sun buff, and they're going on a conquest straight for Panda's home base.
Straight for that home base.
Here?
Blue team has lost
a lot faster than I
control of
thought.
their home base.
It looks. I think Panda has a number advantage here.
And the buff coming.
But you can see the red ships growing quite quickly due to the buffed production.
Oh, this is gonna.
Panda needs to get those torpedo ships. Needs to run and get those produced torpedoes.
I don't know if this is gonna be in time.
Oh, it looks like Panda's coming back with those torpedo ships. Come on!
Oh my gosh!
Blue team.
Oh, what a play! Wow.
It's over!
What a sneaky play by BlackLemur. That was an excellent rush of that.
Yeah, that was.
No, in that case, going for the extra planet really cost Panda the time it took to take the sun earlier.
Yeah. Well, that's what's great about this new map is we don't really know the strategies yet. So counting those planets, how many planets do you go for before you attack the sun? This is all going to be really cool as we find out what exactly players are doing and how it benefits them, and yeah, just who can win fastest. This is a wild, crazy fast map.
Yeah, no, that was crazy, and looks like Panda's complaining a little bit about those ships not being there in time, but it was very tight timing, and that was rough. And on that map, that seems very volatile. If you don't have the right opening, you can get easily beaten there once that sun buff happens.
That was interesting. We'll have to run that back. We'll watch the replay in the VOD later. I'm sure Panda wants a review.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we have two matches remaining. We have the finals and the bronze match, and we're gonna run the bronze match before, and then we'll run the finals. So, in our bronze match, we're going to have Panda versus PopcornShrimp. All right, we'll be right back with that. All right, welcome back. This is our bronze match where we've got Panda facing off against PopcornShrimp for third place in this tournament. Hopefully our players are ready. I see Slushmatic is still on the red team. Should be on spectator. There we go. Let's jump into this game.
All right, this will be a good bronze match. That was definitely an upset with Panda, and this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, let's see if Panda uses that rage to get a very fast start here. It would be very much an upset if Panda doesn't place top 3 at all here. So, but PopcornShrimp is a good player, and so we'll see if they're able to stand their ground here against one of our best players.
Yeah. How many times have we seen the sniper planet captured this tournament? Just once, right?
Once by Panda, yeah.
It's interesting to see, but this is moving so fast and the games are so quick, even with the separate solar systems, that it may not be necessary. So it'll be interesting to see as more people play on it and if we do more tournaments on this one.
Yeah, you usually don't even have enough time to see the god abilities, because by the time you get the sun, you really don't need to fight through the map like normal.
That's a good call, Nathan.
It's like PopcornShrimp is getting shut down trying to get that point defense planet.
Not good on that one.
And it looks like they're going to take it here, though. And it looks like Panda's making quick progress through their solar system here, taking that point defense now. Looks like both players have similar pacing, but I think Panda's up a planet here. Not sure which one, maybe that production planet.
It's pretty close.
And it's interesting seeing Panda go for this heavy laser planet. I kind of figured it would be just a waste of resources to try to attack that planet, and I would rather just go for the sun immediately before doing that one. It looks like Panda's determined here.
Yeah, the heavy lasers are so useful and so powerful, though. If you can get them early enough to build up a bank going into the sun, it's useful. But yeah, you're right. We just don't know.
And it looks like PopcornShrimp's going for the sun here.
Got a good amount of troops. I think I'd reposition a little better, but not bad.
Yeah, it looks like not a lot of
point
missile
defense
ships,
is helping to cover against the missile fire, but yeah, not able to get through that shield.
But maybe now they'll be able to take it. And let's check in with Panda, see how they're doing in their race for the sun here. Looks like hasn't started, but maybe is gathering a lot of missiles here and is about to go in.
Yep.
Hard to say.
Oh, interesting. Interesting choice. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this with popcorn so close to the sun.
The sun has been freed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's rough here going for not having the sun buff there, and I think it might be a problem or a suboptimal strategy what Panda's doing to go for that torpedo planet so early, given the other player is going to have the sun buff and you're going to be trying to defend.
Yeah.
It's much better to be on the offensive on this map, I think.
That's a good call, and I wonder about that. I don't know if that's probably a smart play pulling back by Panda, but there's a chance to take out some of those buffed ships before they got buffed. And this could be bad.
And it looks like the same thing that happened to Panda in the last match might happen again, where Panda just doesn't go for the sun early enough, and is then just having to defend against buff here, and the buff lasts 1 minute, so not going to be able to wait for that to be expired here. And
maybe do the ability. No, looks like I think Panda's gonna call it here. Oh, there we go.
The nukes.
Blue
I
team
don't know if it'll be enough. Yeah.
Not
Red
enough, not in
Yeah.
time.
one.
Dang. Plus with
Yeah.
reinforcements, I don't know if that would have been enough.
No, yeah, it seems like the optimal strategy here is really just going for that sun as soon as you can, and it's better to be on the offensive here instead of the defensive staring down a buffed army coming directly for your home base.
Yeah, that's a good call. The extra planet again, I think, just was the downfall on that one.
Yeah, and we'll be right back with the finals. Alrighty, we're back in the pregame lobby for the finals of the 10th Gods of Gravity tournament, where we have DragonvsCATS versus BlackLemur. So an interesting three-way battle here between dragons, cats, and lemurs, but we'll see how it goes and who comes on top. Let's give these players a brief moment to choose their gods, but it looks like we might be just about ready to start.
Yeah, and I saw in the chat that DragonvsCATS may be from the EU, which is pretty wild considering our time, and they're at the very least 7 hours ahead.
And it's, yes.
So
which means that we've got a
Yeah, it's around about midnight for them at the moment, according to
at the very earliest, yeah.
source.
So
Yeah,
this will be.
And the fact they're able to place highly in ranked queue, which is also around this time of day, by the way, around 4 p.m. PST, or I guess like 11 p.m. or something in EU, is also quite impressive. But that's another great way to test your skill when it's not tournament time.
That's for sure. I think this
And,
is one of the exciting things too, is getting more players from across the country or across the world, and getting more countries playing, and just getting a mix of people just having fun and yeah, playing the game.
Yeah,
It's great to see.
As we get as our player base expands, we will be also increasing the amount of times you can play ranked and becoming more accommodating for players in other regions. But let's get back to the exciting stuff. It looks like BlackLemur here is going the defensive route of getting that point defense first. Which strategy was DragonvsCATS opting for?
It looks like the aggressive one. They're already attacking some moons. Yeah, attacking the turrets on the sun.
Yeah, it seems like the two biggest factors in this match are preserving your troops early and getting that sun buff first.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you can just get that sun buff first, you're probably in a good spot. And it looks like that's exactly what DragonvsCATS is going to do here. And we'll see if BlackLemur is able to get their sun here.
The sun has been freed.
There it is. That's early. That's really early.
Dang.
Yeah. And it looks like they're going to still be expanding while that buff's going on.
BlackLemur
Willing to risk some of their ships just to increase their amount of planets they own. And what's the difference of timers here? We've got about 18 seconds on the BlackLemur one. And how's it looking? Let's see if these players, as they rush at each other,
Has been
and both equal armies, and they're about to both be buffed. We'll see how this goes down. It doesn't look like DragonvsCATS is gonna.
Red team
Oh.
has been buffed.
Here we go. Looks like a great conquest coming into Red's territory here as BlackLemur goes to the other side. Maybe they're just directly going for the home base here.
What? That's wild choice. Not bad though, but I think I'd have held off on that one and captured the planets.
Well, a little bad considering BlackLemur just lost most of their army here. Let's pray that DragonvsCATS doesn't have enough time to get the home base here with the buff, but I think the buff lasts long enough where they will.
I think they do, yeah. This could be bad.
See, they're cutting off their planets as well, so that if they run out of time, they'll still have power, which is quite a nice move.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you only go for their home base and you get defeated there, you've gained no power range advantage here. But it looks like DragonvsCATS decided not to play too aggressively and has played more conservatively, just trying to opt to get all those planets. And
You can really see the production power of the sun buff, though. Like, BlackLemur already has most of their army back.
Yeah.
Without too much loss, even after a risky attack like that.
Yeah, that production buff is so important, and people forget about that one. It's a great thing to keep in mind as you're moving forward, especially on this map.
yeah, and it looks like DragonvsCATS is relentlessly conquesting here, which is great to see. They know they have the troop advantage and they can get away with it. What would you be doing as BlackLemur here to come back, Nathan?
Well, I noticed that Lemur's almost at fleet capacity, which is kind of dangerous because
the nukes
that means
are
that,
in!
Ooh, Conquest EMP on the sun.
Very smart.
It's gonna be so hard to defend this.
Oh, but I think they'll have just enough time.
Yep, I think it's
Maybe
gonna be
not.
close.
Oh,
Red team has been
no.
buffed.
oh. But they've lost a lot of ships because of that.
Yeah,
See
that's true.
How BlackLemur holds up. There's also an asteroid visible up there, but I don't know if they're going to have time to focus on that amidst all the other chaos.
Oh yeah, once DragonvsCATS gets the sun, it's pretty much over for Lemur,
Yeah.
I think.
Blue
Yeah,
team
with those
has
buffs,
been
I think it's gonna be overwhelmingly
With the troop advantage
But-
here.
in DragonvsCATS'
You can see
favor.
that Lemur's going on a rush trying to get more moons back to try and build up production in the meantime.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, they are still buffed.
Take advantage of that buff and get all those moons that you can.
Yeah, if you have a really good fight, like maybe really. Oh, but it looks like.
Look at this rush speed.
Red
Wild.
team lost control of their
Oh,
base.
Oh,
that looks like it's gonna be it, unless. I don't know if it's even possible to come back here.
Team
I can
oh they lost
Yeah,
their
that's
master.
pretty
Wow,
team
that was an
won.
excellent
match.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and how cool to see a new player come in and win. That's great to see, especially a player who's been honing their skills in the ranked mode. It's nice to see those skills transition and yeah.
Yeah, it
into the
would be
tournament.
great to get an interview with DragonvsCATS and see what their story is, because this is the first time we've seen them in tournament, but they're clearly a great player.
Yeah, for sure. We'll talk to them in Discord and get something set up if everybody's interested. It'll be good.
Yeah, and that was a little less traditional map than we're used to, but it was an exciting mix-up, and it was great to see all the new strategies developed for that map. And we're now that we're back from vacation, we're going to be kicking off the tournaments every 2 weeks like normal. We took a little break, and I also want to say thank you so much for to Danny, one of our long-term community members and very much a father of this community, and they have generously sponsored this tournament to have a $75 prize pool. So DragonvsCATS will be taking home a $50 prize, and our second place player, BlackLemur, will be getting $25. So this is awesome to see, and if you're interested in supporting the community and sponsoring a tournament, we're also open to that, and if you want to encourage the competition a little bit more and give players a little bit more to fight over than the crowns in game, which are of course cool as well.
Yeah. Lots of new ones are popping up everywhere. It's cool to see. But no, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. It was great to have Nathan on here as well. Yeah, this was just a fun game, fun time.
Yeah, I may not be around often since I've got schedule conflicts, but it was great to be here, at least for one.
Yeah,
right.
I can't wait to see what's in store in the next tournament.
All right, everyone. We'll talk to you later. We'll have the VOD up soon, and you guys can rewatch all the matches and see exactly how everyone did everything.
All right.
Later.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good one.